Hey everyone, I'm Lincoln Parks. Welcome to the I'm Local podcast. In a world where big corporations dominate the market, it's easy to forget about the unique and vibrant businesses that make our communities thrive. That's why I created the I'm Local podcast, a podcast dedicated to showcasing the incredible stories and contributions of local businesses just like yours. Each episode, I'll be diving into the heart and soul of a different local business. We'll hear from the passionate entrepreneurs behind the scenes as they share their personal journeys, their business philosophies, and the challenges and triumphs that make ownership so rewarding. Whether you're a longtime resident looking to rediscover the hidden gems in our own backyard, or an aspiring entrepreneur seeking inspiration and guidance, I'm Local is here to connect you with the stories that matter most. So buckle up, get ready to be inspired, and join me as we explore the fascinating world of local businesses on I'm Local. Hey everyone, welcome to the I'm Local podcast. Today I'm excited to have a guest, a friend, a colleague, Mr. Morrelle McCrary with Ramtech PC Solutions. Morrelle, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's been an adventure, man. It's been a journey.
Yeah. So let's jump in with that. You know, an adventure and a journey. So let's start from the beginning and just tell everyone, you know, how did this all come to be? Ramtech.
Oh,
You know, how did this? Let's start from the beginning.
oh man, that is a loaded question, Lincoln. Let me tell you, man. I've always been interested in technology and marketing. Like those are my passions.
Yeah,
Um, Even with the Clayton State for both of them, right?
yeah,
I went to work for a few IT jobs where it was like big name companies, and kind of work my way through as a tech to an engineer to management. And the thing that really like flipped the switch for me was I was working a gig, man, and they sent me out to go do some client work for them.
right.
And I built a relationship with one of the clients that I kept going to see to install printers and computers and so on and so forth. And I said, hey, now this is like late 90s, right? Early
Right.
2000s. I said, hey, look, can I ask, what are they charging to send me out here? Because I'm out here for like 2 and 3 hours just chit chatting with you
Right.
guys,
Right.
having a good time installing these computers and printers. And they were like, oh, well, yeah, well, they charge us about $200 an hour. So
Yeah,
that's when the light bulb moment happened.
that's right.
And I thought, well, I know what they're paying me. And it's definitely not that.
Right.
So
Right.
um, I talked to, a CPA friend of mine. He was actually going for his CPA license, and he was an entrepreneur as well. And, he and I both kind of kicked it around and said, all right, well, if you're going to do it, here's the right way to do it. I'm going to get you set up. We're going to do it the right way, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. I
Yes.
got everything set up, got everything off to the ground running. And this was in 99 and went nowhere. I mean,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
typical small business
That's
mindset is like, I'm
that's
in business now. And then you have no clients.
right. 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 Now we got to get some clients.
Right. Now we got to get some clients to pay some bills, right? Um, so yeah, it just kind of started from there, man. Just, word of mouth. I kept my full-time job, until it was just to a point. I think it was like 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
Um, I kept it for a while, and I pushed it. I pushed it a lot.
Right.
And then I transitioned to another job that was here in Henry County, right? And I kept Ramtech going on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Um, During that time, I brought on Cameron. Cameron is now my VP, and he's been with me for a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's all about cultivating a team. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about treating people like people. And everybody's like, well, what was your goals? How did you set this? How did you do that? I mean, I always
Right.
set 3 goals. I mean, you've known me long enough. I always got 3 goals.
Yeah.
And each one of them has subheadings underneath those subheadings, right?
Right.
But
Right.
if you keep your eyes on those main goals, you will achieve them, or you'll get real close.
That's right.
So my goal, and I said it forever, was like, I want to be the biggest IT firm on the south side of Atlanta.
Mm.
I want to be
Yeah.
that guy. I want to be
That's
the
right.
household name for every business that needs IT services and cybersecurity solutions. I want to be that guy. How do I get there? And that's when
Right.
you start putting the roadmap together with marketing and training. And I mean, you gotta keep your skill set fresh. You got to do all
That's
these
right.
things to stay relevant to your industry.
Right. Right.
But yeah,
That,
like I said, man, it's been a journey.
yeah, and you know what, I've been there for a lot of that journey, which is why I'm so want to get your story out to other people and other entrepreneurs that they may be getting started, or they're working their full time job and then have a side hustle on the side that they're trying to do that they eventually want to turn into a business, a real business.
Right.
So you mentioned this earlier. You talk about Cameron being on with you, and he's been on with you for a long time. You know, just talk a little bit about that expansion. Like, how did that happen? Like, with you, just you by yourself, and then Cameron comes on, and then boom, now we
Man,
got
I would say that,
seven, eight,
that was
nine employees.
yeah, that was probably the easiest piece.
Yeah,
I was still working 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 at my day job, right, where I was an
right.
IT manager. Cameron was still in high school, and then when he graduated high school, he went to college, so he just worked in between classes,
Mm,
and it was a part time gig for him at that time, right?
right,
So really, I mean, I had enough income coming in to take care of my family with my regular job. And I
yeah,
technically had Cameron running the business, and he didn't even know he was doing it then. He was technically running the business when, he was coming in part time, and he would make
right,
enough to pay for his salary, right?
right, right,
So that, like I said, that was probably the easiest piece because I didn't need the income from the business at that time, and
right,
it gave me somebody that I could, send out during the day to go get stuff done if needed. Um, I would say the rubber hit the road, Lincoln, when it became time of okay, all right, this is requiring way too much time for me during the day.
hmm
I'm on the phone with Cameron when I'm supposed to be on the phone with, my day job people, helping and
right,
supporting them.
right.
And I was like, well, all right, I'm torn now because, I believe in doing things the right way. And if you're going to do it right the first time. So you don't have to
Yeah,
redo
yeah,
it. So I'm a big proponent of that. And I realized that my focus wasn't 100% on my day job. And,
yeah,
and I was very transparent with my manager at the time. And I told her, I said, hey, look, I've got a side business. So if you guys have a no moonlighting policy, then I'm going to need to know up front, you know, but
right,
it never really got into it never really broke down to it where it was like taking over my day job. It was
right,
fielding a few phone calls while I was at lunch, or step out on a break and field some phone calls, or help Cameron with whatever issues he came across.
right,
But
right.
it was that time, and it was like the timing. I mean, it was we've been through a lot as a as a
I
country. I
know.
mean, we've been through 9/11, we've been through COVID,
That's
we've been
right.
through all kind of
That's right.
crazy things that would make
Yeah,
businesses close doors.
that's
Um,
right.
so it was around
And many of them have.
right, right, right.
Right.
So it was around 9/11, and I was working for a bank, and of course, we know what happened with banking after 9/11 happened. So that kind of
Yeah.
tanked, and the economy tanked. And I got caught up in being able to go be a work from home dad type
Mm,
situation, and
right.
I had two young kids, 3 and 2, I believe, 3 and 1, something like that. How old they were, I forget now. It's been so long ago. Um,
Right.
but yeah, with those babies at home, that was my motivation. I mean, I keep this sign behind me because those are not my words, but I feel them. I
I,
feel them every
the,
day.
and those are good words to have behind you, man. Every day you walk in and you see it.
Right. So
Yeah.
um it was just you had to feed those babies, and I had to do what was required to do that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't. Cameron had enough to sustain him, but there was not enough in the business to sustain both of us.
Right.
So there was a lot of late nights. There was a lot of leftovers. There's a lot of, hey, let's go over to your mom's house and eat dinner because we're broke. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of those times that And and this is the conversations my wife Jennifer and I have now is like, you remember back when we had to go to my mom's house to eat dinner because we didn't have anything to eat, or we didn't have enough money to go out and do what we wanted to do. It's like, you were a business owner, but you didn't have anything. I was like, yeah,
That's right.
you're right.
That's right. That's right. Look, man, and I'm glad you said that, because when that's one thing that why I wanted to do this podcast was I wanted to share the stories of people like yourself who've been in the community. You started from scratch and you built your business to where it is now. And you are like that name in Henry County at this point.
Try, man.
You
I'm
know,
trying.
yeah, no, I mean, anybody, everywhere I go, it's Ramtech PC Solutions. It's Morrelle. They always think we twins or we brothers and stuff
Right.
like that. So,
That's
so,
true. I
so,
still get
so every time, so I think you're at that point where it's like, man, everywhere you go, it's Ramtech PC Solutions. I mean, I know it's more that could be done.
right. Right.
However, I feel as if you're there, which is why I want to transition into this question here. And I know you touched on it a little bit, but what is like that one hurdle that or some advice that you can give an entrepreneur right now or a small business owner right now that they're like, man, I'm on the verge. I'm ready to do this thing. I'm ready to move forward. Like, what's that one thing that you could
Oh,
share
that's
with
easy.
them?
That's easy. And I
Yeah.
use it every day. Divert that energy to something else.
Mm. Yeah.
And I say that for multiple reasons, right? I'm at the gym, I'm working out, right?
Yeah.
I'm lifting heavier weight than I have lifted in my entire life. Like,
Right.
you would
Right.
you would walk by the weights and go, wow, he's gonna lift all that.
Right.
And you see people and they wear it on their face, they're struggling, they can't get that weight up. Take that energy from your face, direct it to your body part that you're working,
Right. Right.
and get through the job.
Yeah. That's
So
powerful.
I take that same mentality with work. When we first jumped on this call, I told you, yeah, my energy is low. I hadn't gotten any sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know to stay in my lane because I'm the energy here. If
Right.
I come in and I bring negative energy, if I don't bring any energy at all,
Right.
my teammates are going to pick up on that and they're not
That's
going to
right.
push.
That's right.
Right. So I
Yeah.
don't let my face show it.
Right.
Every day you come in, you focus, you come up with a task list. I'm not going to show you all my tasks, but this is one page of my task list. Right.
Yeah. Yep. You deep.
And I keep it. And if I mark off 3 or 4 in that day, I don't let that beat me up. Used to, I let it
Right.
beat me up. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
get to this task. Didn't get that done. Now I have deadline stuff that I meet, right? I don't miss deadlines on purpose.
Right.
But there are some things, like, I got to get this done and I need the focus. Let me close the door and knock it out. So you come
Mm-hmm.
in with that same level of mentality, that same energy that you put on your face when you're lifting heavy weights, and you divert it to something else,
Right.
that will get your job done.
Man. Yeah. That's powerful, man. And I hope people took heed of that advice, because that's great advice. So let me ask you, Morrelle, is there in the community, I know you've been a part of the chamber, heavily part of the chamber, and you're making things happen.
You
Um,
too, Mr. Past Chair. I'm just
well,
following your footsteps.
look. I know you've been in this community, man. Everybody knows you already. You're on that path with the with the chamber right now.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what are some things that you see for the future in Henry County local community from a IT or technologies perspective that you feel like we may be lagging behind on and we need to move forward?
Man, so that's a loaded question, right? The reason I say it's a loaded question is I always feel like Henry County is a little delayed. And I love my
Right.
county. I love my city. I love where I play, worship, and sing and work. Right. I love everything about where I live.
Yes.
There are some disadvantages to how fast we're growing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I had to move my business out of McDonough 5 years ago because I couldn't get enough bandwidth for my company to
I,
operate,
I remember that. Yep.
you know? So when you look at, okay, where do I put my business? I had to look at, well, number one, the majority of the customers we have are, healthcare related customers.
Right.
They're going to be near a hospital most likely.
That's right.
So
Makes sense.
hospitals typically have good power and good internet.
That's right.
So I
That's right.
said, how close can I get to a hospital and closer to the customers that we support and get the services my business needs? That's why
Mm,
we ended up here. So that's
mm,
number one, infrastructure, lack of infrastructure, right?
right.
Um, and that's number one for me. You hear a lot of people say traffic as their number one.
Oh yeah.
Traffic
Infrastructure.
is
Yeah.
what it is. I mean, that's
Right.
that is what it is. You go to
Right.
Atlanta, there's traffic. You go north of Atlanta, there's traffic. Quick story: I went to a Microsoft conference, and I had a friend that's lived in Alpharetta, and I mapped it from this friend's house. It was 10 minutes up the road,
Yeah. Yeah.
whereas I'm an hour and 10 minutes from my house to Alpharetta. Right?
Right.
I said, hey, let me spend the night with you. That way, I can just drive 10 minutes and go to this conference. And she goes, well,
Right.
you might want to leave 30 minutes early. And I said,
Right.
but it's 10 minutes up the road.
Right. Right.
And she goes, well, it's going to take you 30 to 40 minutes to get there. And sure
Good
enough, she was
grief.
right on. She was spot on. But again,
Man.
traffic. But I never want to bring up traffic because there are some DOT plans in place to get the traffic done.
Right.
The
Right.
problem is by the time we get the traffic done, we now have a population that's done tripled since that study was done.
That's
So
true.
we're a little behind in that aspect, which is fine. I
Yeah.
don't mind more
Yeah.
people. More people mean more customers, right?
That's right. That is true.
And that also means more taxpayers. So if there's more people, more customers, more taxpayers, I think that's a good economy.
I agree. I
I'll deal
agree.
with a little bit of traffic for that.
Hey, any day, I'm fine with that. So okay, so let me ask you this: what is and we're gonna transition, wrapping up.
Sure.
What is your local go-to spot? I mean, this is
Uh,
the spot that you kind of like, man, we got to go here. You and Jennifer, it's like this is where we got to go. What's your local go-to spot?
I will tell you, man. There's a few. If you're thinking about food, I mean, there's a lot of good ones though. I mean, Erie County's got a lot of gyms, like right. So Italian Oven, that's a hot spot.
Right.
Especially like when I go
Yes.
in there, they know me by
I was
name,
just
right?
there. Yes.
Serafino's, like directly across the street from them. That's another hot
Yes.
spot. They're really good.
Yes.
15th Street Pizza. I mean,
Mm,
that's another one.
Can't beat it. Can't beat
Mellow
it.
Mushroom. I mean, we
Yes.
got a lot of hidden gems in Henry County that we
I
hit
agree.
regularly.
I
Emerson's
I
Deli. I'd pop over there for lunch.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I mean, there's
yeah.
Poppy's Cuban restaurant. I mean, I pop over there for. I mean, there's so many, Lincoln. There's so many. So
Right. Yeah, there are a ton, and you name some good ones. So I need to go over to Poppy's because I hadn't been over there in a little bit. So I need to pay
man,
them a visit.
you need to.
But
You need to.
so okay, in wrapping up, where can people find Morrelle McCrary? They want to do business with Ramtech. They're listening to this and they're like, man, I love, I need some IT changes. I need something. Where can they get in contact with you?
So that's the easy one. I always tell people, look, if your IT guy doesn't talk to you, doesn't spend time with you, and doesn't treat you like you want to be treated, we will welcome you to the Ramtech family.
Yes.
Ramtech, we are 100% customer service driven. We just happen to be some IT people that love people, right?
Mm, that's awesome.
So if anybody's looking for us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, web. I mean, I'm probably at some chamber function and you've seen my face. Um,
Yes.
just pick up the phone and call us. Just call Ramtech. That's what we always say.
Gotcha.
That's what you hear our customers say. Just call Ramtech. Let them fix it.
Just call Ramtech.
Yep. Just call Ramtech. Let them fix it.
You're right, because I hear it all the time. So hey, Morrelle, look, man, I really we could get into so much more. I
Oh,
I
dude, yeah.
I,
It
I
talks
just
sweet
wanted
by
to.
real fast.
Yeah, yes, it goes by fast. But I wanted to really just thank you for being on and being a part of this community and sharing your vulnerabilities and where you were with your business, so that people that are watching this or listening to it in the future they take some of those nuggets and they can implement it in their business as well. So,
Definitely.
I appreciate you being on, man, and best of luck. Continue for Ramtech.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me. And one last word for the viewers and listeners: don't give up. I mean,
That's
it's
right.
if it was easy, everybody would do it.
That's right. That's
Don't
right.
give up. Don't give up on
Yeah.
your dreams. Don't give up on your hopes. You get up, you go to work, and don't let money be your focus. Let taking care of people be your focus. You will
Mm,
thrive.
mm. Great advice. Way to wrap it up, man. I appreciate you, Morrelle.
Yeah, man. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.